Malaysia is a tropical country that covers an area of about 33 million hectares, consisting of 3 regions: the Peninsula, Sabah and Sarawak. 55.3% of Malaysia is still covered by forests. The tropical rainforest of Malaysia comprises of primarily mangrove, peat swamp and inland forests, which are highly complex and rich in a variety of species of flora and fauna. Forest resources in Malaysia are important and valuable in contributing significantly towards the country's socio-economic and environmental well-being. Malaysia still upholds the commitment made during the Earth Summit in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil in 1992, which is to maintain at least 50% of the country's land area to consist of forest and tree cover. The administration and forest management is governed under stringent forest laws and regulations to ensure the forest is managed systematically. Forest activities that are planned and implemented sustainably are taken into account in terms of environmental, social, and economic balance. In line with Malaysia's effort to maintain its biodiversity, the Malaysia Policy on Forestry was approved by the National Land Council on the 29th of January 2021. The Malaysia Policy on Forestry is the country's commitment to ensure that its forests are managed sustainably. This policy will provide a base and structure to all parties in streamlining their forest management. The Malaysia Policy on Forestry was formulated by encompassing 3 policies by 3 regions of the Peninsula, Sabah and Sarawak. This policy will cover areas which include sustainable forest management, protection and conservation of biodiversity, climate change, mitigation and adaptation, application of latest forestry technology, strengthening research and development, as well as enhancing sharing of knowledge. Malaysia recognizes forest as a strategic national heritage and is committed to securing sufficient forest areas for their ecosystem services, biodiversity conservation, environmental protection, and sustainable utilization of resources towards the socio-economic development and well-being of present and future generation. This policy statement, in addition to the policies formulated and adopted by the Peninsula States, Sabah and Sarawak, in accordance with the provisions of the Federal Constitution, provides direction for the implementation of sustainable forest management through good governance and practices to ensure the forestry sector continues to contribute towards the achievement of sustainable development of the nation. This policy is formulated with objectives: ensure sufficient forest areas are managed through good governance and practices for the conservation of biodiversity and ecosystem services. Manage, conserve and rehabilitate the permanent reserved forest or forest reserves or permanent forests based on the principles of sustainable forest management. Ensure continuous supply of raw materials from natural forest and forest plantations to sustain the development of wood-based and non-timber forest industries. Encourage the participation of indigenous, native and local communities in the protection, conservation and rehabilitation of forests. Strengthen capacity building, research, development and commercialization and innovation, including providing adequate human financial resources to improve forest management and utilization of forest resources. The Ministry of Energy and Natural Resources is responsible in coordinating and monitoring the implementation of the policy with federal ministries and state governments. Forests are natural resources that are inherited together to be preserved and managed through strategic partnerships with various stakeholders, including local communities. The implementation of the Malaysia policy on forestry proves that Malaysia remains committed to implement sustainable forest management in ensuring the forestry sector continues to contribute in sustainable development of the country and for the sake of present and future generations.